Yo, what's good everyone? Hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to do a video where I kind of show you how to win with Claudio. Not so much like, this is more like an offensive type of video, because obviously I can't really show you in this video the type of like matchup knowledge and stuff. That's not what this video is about. It's about to like create offense and certain scenarios with Claudio to make it a little bit easier to win with the character. Obviously playing against certain characters, what they do would be down to you labbing or watching videos on how they do that sort of stuff. Is all on all different types of videos. This one is all about how to attack with Claudio, how to step and do just certain scenarios with Claudio. This video is basically aimed at people who are sort of confident with Claudio. Like if you're an absolute beginner, right, and you're watching guides on how to play Claudio and stuff like that, then it's probably not for you just yet. But if you feel like you're quite confident, you know Claudio's moves list, you know his punishes, you know his combos, all this stuff, and you're quite confident, you just want that extra push on how to win, like in open stage and at the wall, then this video is definitely for you. So first off, we're going to start with in the open. So in the open, Claudio is one of, if not the worst character in the game for neutral pokes. Meaning that when Claudio is fighting against people, his quick pokes like 1-2, back 3, down 4, down forward 3, standing 3, down forward 1. All of his fast poking tools are like -4, -3, -4, sometimes even more than that, like with -7 and -10. So going poke for poke against the character is not really Claudio's strong point. Like he's gonna really lose if you try play Claudio this way. If you're just trying to go, oh, we'll poke each other, because you're just gonna get interrupted. Because a lot of other characters have like -1, 0 sort of stuff. Claudio doesn't really have that from single pokes, because all of his pokes have an extension. So that being back 3, 3, down forward 3, 2, down forward 3, 1, 3, 2, down forward 1, 2. Everything has an extension on it. So this is where Claudio's in the open played at a mind game / a sidestepping sort of game. So as a mind game, this being -4 is okay, I guess. This is where you kind of have to look at what your opponent's doing after these types of moves. So if you're playing against someone and you are doing down forward 3, you're doing back 3, you're doing 1, 2, you're doing down forward 1, any of these sort of moves, the first thing you need to check when doing this is how your opponent responds to these moves. Now, if I'm playing against an opponent who is heavily mashing after back 3, that means I know I can use back 3 a lot in the open. You know, you can do back 3, get them to, and eventually they'll stop pressing into it. You can get them to start pressing into it again, you start throwing it out again. If you've got an opponent, or same with down forward 3, by the way, if they start pressing after this, you know, you just finish it or just finish this. Doesn't matter which one you do. Not down forward 1, 2, by the way. But these sort of ones just finish the string. You're not putting yourself heavily minus. It's not too bad. But this is a good thing to do in the open. If you're playing against an opponent who starts using slow, responsive moves as like mid checks themselves, then you want to know which character you're playing against and which way you can sidestep. So you do back 3 into sidestep left against Claudio. If I can get, for instance, we'll get it to punish on block, record. So if I get the Claudio to respond with a mid check himself after you know, a back 3, a simple sidestep, it can be very effective against these sort of players. Obviously, this is just an example. Each character would be different. Like some characters you have to step right, you have to step left, and it obviously all depends on what move they're going to be using. For right now, we're just using a quick mid poke from Claudio where he could confirm the down forward 3. This would be the same off 1, 2, down 4. Any of these sort of moves. So there's that sort of way you can play against them, but obviously you would have to check what type of opponent you're playing against. So if you're playing against a checker sort of opponent, not a jab. If you're playing against a jab checker who just wants to press all the time, then obviously finishing the strings is extremely good. If you're playing against a mid checker, someone who just wants to be safe and just check against your minus frames, then a sidestep is important. And if you're playing against someone who doesn't do anything, because they're scared of the follow-ups, they're just going to block, then a sidestep mix up like this, chipping down with lows, even if they're like going to because this low is quite important, to be honest, as well. Even though it's launch punishable, it does damage and it does mental frames, because some people challenge it. If they challenge it, you can backdash and hop kick. Some people just block it and then, like, block after it, and then you can just, like, pressure them. But, yeah, when people are just, like, blocking these sort of moves, and they're very hesitant on how to play against Claudio, that's when you want to push them to the wall with, like, Warring 2 and stuff. And people that are going to do back 3, you know, you can sidestep 4 a little bit more freely, because they're going to block more than mash. When people are mashing against Claudio and you're trying to do this sort of stuff, you're probably just going to get counter hit. So it's quite hard in the open. But yeah, you need to realise when you're doing Claudio's pokes that you can't go poke for poke, but you need to see how people respond to your pokes. So if they're responding with really quick jabs and stuff like that, just start finishing the string to catch counter hit. If they're mid-checking and not doing the fast moves after it, you can sidestep left. For Claudio, sorry, it'd be sidestep right, depending on it all depends on the character. Because if they're just mashing 1-2 and you try to step, you can't. Actually the down forward 3 wasn't too bad there. The second it does track a bit. But yeah, you can't really step against these jab mashers and stuff like that, so that's why it's best to just finish the string. And then the mid-checkers you can sort of step, so please keep that in mind. But overall, Claudio in the open's not that strong of a character. He definitely excels at the wall. He is probably the best character in the game at the wall. But yeah, in the open it can be a little bit of a struggle, so the infinite stages it can be a bit of a struggle. But just keep in mind, you have to look at what your opponent's doing. Ask Claudio what they're doing to your quick pokes, basically. That's how you have to go about. Obviously, throwing out running 2s and that sort of stuff in the open is absolutely fine. All your Starburst moves are absolutely fine. But in terms of neutral pokes in the open, you need to look at what they're doing. As for Starburst, I'll just pop it. But like, if you've got Starburst and stuff in the open, there's only 2 moves you really should be using in the open. That's down back 1+2 and forward 1+2 and +2. They're the only moves you should be using in the open. Now, because back 1 and down back 1+2 got a little bit of a nerf frame-wise, they're not as strong in the way that you used to use them. But down back 1+2 has just got a different way of using it now. With down back 1+2, you just used to use it because it was -2, it had pushback, it was sort of a neutral move, you could use it. But now, because it's -9 and the pushback's not there anymore, it's used a little bit differently. Now, this move is a true high cush now, which means it goes through any high. So the best way to use this move is to try get people to challenge your moves with a high and then do this. You can just throw it out, of course, still. You just have to make sure that you're blocking after it rather than trying to do something. So that is still possible, but it is better to do something that's either -4 or less, and then throw out down that 1+2. So if we just set the opponent to jab again, because I think this is extremely good, especially against people who jab check or try go for a high counter hit or anything like that. When you're -4, especially in Starburst, if they try jab after it, it will go through highs. Like anything like this, it does go through highs like that. So this is the best way to use down that 1+2 now, is anticipating a high from the opponent. That is definitely the best way to use it. You will catch a lot of people with it, especially going just minus. Even like down back 4 and its own being -2. People are going to want to challenge this, and then you just do down back 1+2 to go under it. So that's definitely how you use it. Forward 1+2, 1+2, can go under highs or jabs in certain scenarios. But I'd say the best way with forward 1+2 is a whiff punisher, or you just throwing it out because you think, oh, they might duck, from a sidestep. You're just going to throw it out. These 2 moves, I wouldn't really use too much at the wall. These are more open Starburst moves. Down 1+2 is not too bad, if you're doing like a down forward 3-2, put on 2 hits. If you do a down forward, instead of doing down forward 3-2 shoulder at the wall, if you do down forward 3-2, down back 1+2. The classic Claudio setup is to do this to beat jabs, but now that this is a thing, I know it's slower and it would lose to mids, but so would doing down forward 3-2 into shoulder would lose to a mid as well. It is a safer option, but obviously forward 1+2 and down 1+2 definitely better in the open. Now at the wall, this is where Claudio becomes an absolute different beast. So at the wall, best moves to use, side step 4, up forward 2. Up forward 2 is okay in the open. I guess it's got good pressure, to be fair. It is pretty good in the open. But I feel like people jab more against you in the open, so you will get jabbed out of it a bit more in the open, and probably get it stepped a little bit more than at the wall. But this move's definitely better at the wall. It just creates that more pressure because you can go into crouch and do while standing 1-1. You know, maybe get the wall splat. So side step 4, up forward 2, back 1. Forward 3 is okay. Forward 3 is okay in the open as well, I guess. If you catch people stepping into buttons. Forward 3 is pretty good though, just for that mental pressure. Down forward 3. And we won't get into Starburst yet. We won't get into Starburst moves. I'd say they're the best ones outside of Starburst move. So the way you're going to play your wall game is just by doing this. This is how you're going to start your wall game, is by the side step. You're even going to do side step 4. You could do multiple of these because people are going to respect it. If they don't respect it, you just throw out the down forward 3 and try hit confirm the 1. This is possible, by the way, like with practice. Look how long you have to delay it, and it's always natural, so very possible. If you're doing side step 4 and you think they're going to do a side step, you just do back 1. This will also wall spot. You know, same way this does. So easily get wall spots for that. But this low is the main threat that people are bothered about. This is what's going to get them to duck because it does pretty good damage and it has very good plus frames and it's only minus 12, so it's extremely strong. So you have to use this at the wall. But yeah, if you don't have Starburst or Heat, these are the go-to. Side step 4, side step down forward 3, side step back 1, side step up forward 2. When you go into you don't have to go into crouch with up forward 2, but if you do, you got while standing 1-1, or if you've got Starburst, you got while standing 1-2. But you can just stay standing and do down forward 3 after it. You can even just do a quick low, another low into a side step. You can just repeat it, or you can do a side step 4. There's plenty of like mixing you can do here. Again, like I said earlier, this all depends on how your opponent responds to this sort of stuff, so you need to try to pick up on that as fast as you can. Now when you've got Starburst, there are only 3 moves you should use at the wall with Starburst. We have it active all the time. We'll start with the most, like the least one you should use, and that's down 1-2. Down 1-2 is +6 on block, and it does wall splat. So it is very good. Now the only thing is, the higher level you get, and the more counterplay there is to this. So this is where it can be a little bit, yeah, but a lot of people still don't deal with it. You can step between it. At the wall in the open, you can step between it. You can power crush between it. You can rage out between it. You can parry it if you've got a parry. So there is a lot of counterplay to down 1-2. And because there's no mix-up with this, I'd say this is why it's the third least like usable Starburst move. Still very good. Still will catch people. Still definitely should use it unless you know your opponent knows how to deal with it. It is good plus frames, and it gives you a wall spot, and it gives you a mix-up to do a mid or a low after it. It's completely up to you what you do. Obviously, it all depends on what you think your opponent's going to do. Next would be while standing 1-2. Now, I say while standing 1-2 is a little bit better. It has the same counterplay as down 1-2, but the only difference is this can be interrupted by 10 frames, maybe even 11. But it can be interrupted, so that makes it a little bit weaker. The only thing that makes it stronger is while standing 1-1. So if I try step while standing 1-2, which is possible, they will get hit by while standing 1-1, and at the wall, while standing 1-1 will wall splat. So that's why I think while standing 1-2 becomes a little bit stronger, because they're going to have to risk eating while standing 1-1, and while standing 1-2 would, of course, wall splat them. So that's where it would be definitely better than down 1-2, because there's a little bit less counterplay because of the other string. Now the main string that obviously most people will have probably commented on the video saying that all you have to do is forward 3-2 while you've got Starburst. Without Starburst it's useless. Don't use it, and don't use it in the open. It's pretty pointless. Only use it when you've got onto the wall. Now honestly, as of recording, this move is a bit broken, just a little bit. And probably in June, I think, either the June or July patch probably will be changed. And if it does drastically change, I will do another video on the changes of that move and how you should use it, or if you should use it then. But for now, abuse it. Honestly, abuse it. This move is extremely hit confirmable. So if you see the kick hit, just let it go. Like, I'll make it hit. I'll even actually, I'll put it on random block. I'll charge it every time he doesn't block it. So I'll let go. It's so easily hit confirmable. You just let it go. You just hold the charge, but let it go if you see it hit. And you will get a wall spot from it. And then you can do whatever wall combo you want. Now, also the thing is, it is +1 with Starburst. So it's still your go after it, which is crazy. So you can still do stuff after it. But the best way to use this move is, there are 5 charges overall: level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Level 5 being the guard break, level 1 just doing the move itself. Level 1, 2, 4 and 5 can be option selected with a sidestep. Level 1 and 2, a sidestep right block. Level 1 and 2, the sidestep won't come out. It won't come out, so you can just buffer it anyway. Level 4, the sidestep will come out, and level 5, the sidestep will come out. Like that. That's level 4, that's level 5, the sidestep right will come out. But level 3, which, that's level 2. That level there, level 3, it's hard to, you get used to the timing of it. There's no actual a visual of it, you just get used to the whole time of it, that's how you know. Can't be sidestepped or interrupted. It's actually very broken. So you want to use level 1 to hit confirm, level 3 and level 5 as a mix. If you think they're going to try sidestep, let go at level 3. And if you think they're just going to block and just hold it, you know, if you think they're just going to just hold this, then just go for the guard break, get the wall splat, and do whatever combo you want. Nice little chunk of damage. But this move right now, if you want to go up the ranks, just get them to the wall with running 2s or whatever, and just go crazy with it. You know, if you pop heat, I want to pop heat without the wall spot though. Like, you've popped heat. You see how many you can just do? You can just obviously that is not real, by the way. They can interrupt that. But I'm just saying you can do that many of them at the wall. And I definitely recommend using this over down 1-2 and while standing 1-2 as it is. Just because it's just so much better. Because I just think the level 3 and the guard break are just so strong as a mix. Level 4 is pointless. Level 1 is only good for hit confirm. Level 2 is pointless. So definitely try to stick between level 3 and level 5. But yeah, that's pretty much how you need to win with Claudio. Is these sort of checks in the middle, seeing how your opponent responds to it. Whether you need to sidestep or finish the strings, this is how you need to play Claudio. If they're jab checking and stuff, this is where down back 1+2 comes into it as a sort of move. And obviously at the wall, sidestep mixes with back 1, sidestep 4, down forward 3, up forward 2. These sort of moves, and then when you've got the Starburst, get these forward 3-2s in. Don't, like in the open, look at the pushback, it's pointless. Don't use this move in the open. It's literally pointless. Don't use it. Especially, and then if you've got heat, you know, use forward 3-2 at the wall, use running 1+2 or something in the open to push them towards the wall. And then obviously you've got the heat smash, which is whatever. It's up to you if you want to use your heat smash or heat dash. I'm not going to be the one to tell you whether you should heat dash or heat smash. That's not going to make you a better player which one you choose. So that's why people might be like, why don't you talk about heat? Heat doesn't matter. Like, honestly, each player can use the heat however they want. It doesn't matter. If you want to use it on fucking free launchers, you use it on free launchers. If you want to use it for, you know, plus frames, you use it for plus frames. If you want to use plus frames into heat dash, you want to use plus frames into heat smash, all fine by me. I can't tell you how to use heat. Honestly, you just need to use it yourself. The tip I can give you is use the heat till the last second. Like, if you're running out now, like, definitely if you've just got loads of heat, use a Starburst move before you use a heat dash or a heat smash. That's one advice I would always give. But other than that, use heat however you feel is necessary in your match. There's no way for me to tell you that. The only thing I should be able to tell you is how to play neutral with Claudio, which is looking at what your opponent does on how you finish strings or sidestep, and how to apply his wall pressure with forward, forward, 3-2 and all the other moves that are listed. That's the only advice I can really give you. The rest of it's learning matchups yourself and recognising patterns of your opponent, so then you know how to apply what I've shown here with Claudio against that opponent on what they're responding. So yeah, I hope you learned something. I really do. I hope this helps. I hope you absolutely batter people with forward, forward, 3-2. I find it hilarious. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.